Good morning, my friends. Welcome to another episode of Frustrated to Freedom. I'm Bill Morrow, and leading you on your journey to solve your problems from frustration to freedom. So, what we have today is F2F 10, and the subject is communication. Going back to our ancestors again, we can't avoid it. We have communication, which was most likely in the form of signs, grunts, bashes, or whatever it was. You can just imagine how they got on with each other. A lot of aggression. But as we progressed through life, then we got to the stage where symbols were our method of speaking to each other. We then had specialist people who used to write letters and so forth, but the individuals themselves didn't get to that stage of writing. It was speech and dialect and everything else that came along with that. In the Egyptian era, we then had the symbols. We had Sanskrit, which simply symbols written in sand or in wax, and then onto parchment. And so we developed our communication, which was our language. The language started so that all countries had their own versions of it. English, 26 symbols, 26 letters, and from that we can make amazing things. Books, everything, all coming from the 26. And of course we get abbreviations and all sorts of bits and pieces coming from that, which sometimes confuse us. But communication is the biggest and greatest thing we've got. It's the biggest asset we have. The fact that we can talk to other people. We learnt this from school, from our parents. And the first thing you learnt was that word that really infuriated me with the children was why. And they would keep going on to get you to talk to them, and it was why. And then you'd explain, and then you get the next why. And so it went on from there. Greetings, communications came in all forms, and the first was in one of our favorites, the Indian, who said, how? Now that gesture showed, look, I have no weapons in my hand. And next came when you extended your hand to greet a friend or to greet another person, some stranger. By extending your hand, you gripped hands, and that was, in fact, a protection. Yes, it showed that he didn't have a weapon in his hand, so you grabbed his hand, and then there was only one other hand to think about. And as this was the fighting hand, the right hand, that's why you grabbed that hand. And it wasn't a friendship greeting, it was an instinct. But now we have evolved from that, or most of us have. We've evolved from that situation, and we greet each other. Hello. Hello, how are you? And that has now, over time, become hi, what you, and various other extensions of the same sort of thing. But communication is one of the greatest things we've got, is be able to speak, talk to our friends, neighbours, strangers. And this is the good thing about it, simply talking. And from there, it's just gone on and on. Over the time, we had Morse code, communications. We had, I used to teach people communication with flags. And this was a symbol where you simply raise the flag in a certain pattern, and that represented a letter. And we used to communication from one valley to the other, one mountain to the other. And that was quite interesting. Then along came other communication systems, our radios. The first lot were pretty useless. If a hill got in the way, you lost communications. Then they improved, and then we got satellites. all the time getting better, getting better. While I was a pilot, I learned that if you're sending out messages, you sent a general message, you prefixed it with the word pan, and that allowed everyone to listen to that message as to what was happening, what was going on. And then you got even further than that, and you could send out a Mayday message. So you shout Mayday and then give your message and the location, which meant that you were in real trouble and people would come and assist you. And that was just a general thing across all airways and sea. So if you heard the word, you got in touch. And that was the process, communication. And taking it down to its basic form, we have emails and everything else now, and it's all communications. So the whole process goes on, and from our point of view, it gets easier and better all the time. So by doing that, we're giving part of ourselves to the other person. We're telling them our feelings and how we react to them. So this is one of the greatest things. So that again comes down to our mindset, how we feel in ourselves and how we feel towards other people. And the biggest thing you have is the mindset. And this all goes towards helping you to solve your problem of the frustration. If you communicate with others, you'll share your problem, and invariably the answer is not with others, the answer is with you. And then by talking, you learn and you communicate, and you also get the message across, and you find the answer in yourself. The answer invariably is in here. It's in your mind, it's in your mindset. So that's what you've got to do, my friends, is to face the problem, think about it, and then by communicating with others, in whatever form it is, you can then find the answer to your problem. So we go from frustration to freedom. And it's all in here, the three processes. Number one, you mean you don't know? Of course you do. You dream, you think, you form it. Number two is your plan. You plan what you're going to do to solve the problem. And number three, you take action, the biggest one of the lot. So that's it, my friends. Communicate, talk, communicate with others, with yourselves, and in your mind. Yes, you think about these things. This is all communication. And in that way, we learn and we get the benefit of life. Thank you very much. See you in the next episode. Bye.